confident in him. But is that like every other position? There is competition each week. He still has to win the job.
Well, I mean, he's the kicker now, but I mean, there's only so many kicks you can miss. You know, Jerry's good. I mean, Jerry has a strong leg, and he was good during practice, and he was good the first week and the second week. But you can't keep going 1 for 4. You know, just like a receiver can't keep dropping a football, or an offensive tackle can't keep missing a pass set. Everybody has their job to do, and for the kicker, it's to kick the ball between the 2 bars, above the 1, and on kickoffs, kick it deep. Now, Jerry's kickoffs on Saturday were the best they've been all year. I mean, he kicked the ball deep into the corner, and the one silver lining from Saturday was I thought our special teams play was very much improved. It was the best day we had punt returning. It was the best day we had returning, kicking the ball off. Our punt coverage was excellent. We did some good things against a good football team. But again, you're searching far and wide for a silver lining when you lose by 35. But that was the one thing that came out is, you know, we made some improvements in special team. Now, the 2 obvious ones are, you know, I don't think Nick Ivanelli's punting the ball as well as he's capable of, and Jerry's missed some kicks. But you know, we got to get him going.
After the first game where he was perfect, field goals, extra points, is there something technical, psychological, why he's been inconsistent the last couple of weeks?
You know, he's had enough leg on all of them. You know, he's pushed 1, he's hooked 2. So, do you play golf at all?
No.
Well, you know, sometimes you get up there and you know, guys are slicers or they hook it. They get up there and, you know, to me, you know, a kicking stroke is a lot like a golf swing. You know, it's the same thing. It should be the same operation every time. But if it was that easy, everybody could do it. And again, he was money the first 2 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks he struggled. So, you know, we're going to need him to make those kicks. We know that. He knows that. And, you know, I certainly have confidence that he'll do it. But he needs to do it. He needs to hit those kicks.
You had the opportunity to play a lot of different people in the second half. Is there, after looking at the film and consulting the other coaches, is there anybody, 1 or 2 guys who maybe kind of elbowed their way, they're trying to elbow their way a little bit more?
Yeah, I think some of our offensive linemen we got in there, you know, Blake Walker and Chip Robinson, based on how they did, I think we're more comfortable putting them in during the course of the game now. You know, they weren't perfect, but they went in there and they competed, and they made some good blocks, and they were physical. And there's no reason to think that, you know, in the normal course of the game, we could get those guys in there and they'll play well. John Pettigrew played very well, did some good things with the football. Again, Willie's still going to be our primary back, but if we ever had to give him a breather, or if we still wanted to go with 2 backs and Willie needed a blow, then I think John Pettigrew, we feel better about getting him in there. Justice Jones made some nice catches. You know, we've become very thin at receiver, losing, you know, Tyrone Proney will be out for the year now. Calvin Wiley's out for the year. Derek Brighton's out for the year. So the one position on offense that we thought we had depth, we don't have depth, but Justice Jones got in there and played well. And we can probably get him in the mix now. And on defense, you know, Dwayne Woods, I think in the future is going to be a really fine linebacker for us. So I mean, he's still learning the game and learning to get aligned and learning the defense. But the more he plays, I think the better he'll get.
You spoke about Freddie being Tyler's primary target. At the same time, has there been discussion to kind of maybe look a little bit more beyond just Freddie?
Yeah, in last game, Freddie wasn't the primary target. Boise clearly did some things that they were not going to let Freddie touch the football. Anytime he was the single receiver, for the most part it was a press or a press with a safety over top. And because of that, the ball was getting distributed to Adrian Hodges a little bit more, to Chris Wright. You know, a lot of the run stuff we did with Willie, putting him in the Wildcat, because of what they were doing to Freddie, allowed us to do that. And I also I thought our offensive staff did a good job of then moving Freddie around, that if they were going to take him out of the game as the single receiver near the boundary. We started playing him in as the slot a little bit, and we were able to get him some touches that way. But it was a matter of time until that happened. And not only did it happen against a good team, it happened against a great player. Kyle Wilson is one of the top corners in the country, and he played really well. It was a struggle for Freddie at times to get open on him.
Your thoughts about Tyler doing the non-conference overall?
Well, I mean, he's our best quarterback, and it's not even close. And there's times that Tyler played really well. I think because of how well he played, we won the Troy game. We were in the Missouri game. There were times last game that I thought he maybe forced some things that weren't there. That maybe tried to make a big play. You can't just nickel and dime people, and you just can't throw 5-yard balls and screens the whole way down the field. But when you take those shot plays, there's times they're there and they're not there. You got to check it down, even though that can get frustrating. And I thought he forced maybe a ball or two on Saturday that he shouldn't have forced, and we paid for it. But really, the 1-2 that went off of Chris Wright's hand. We were in a 5-man protection. They brought a linebacker. That was a hot read, and the ball. It would have been a great play by Chris, but he should have made the play. The deep one to Wright is the one that I thought hurt us. That was the one that I thought was an ill-advised throw.
What's the 1959 team that were undefeated to be back here for the homecoming weekend? Can you use that team coming back here as sort of a lesson, or maybe something to show your players this is the history this program has, or something that you can add to that history?
We've talked about that history a lot to all of our players in recruiting and preseason. You practice every day in the Doit, and there's all the teams here that have won MAC championships and been in bowl games, and the 59 team. So what they did is a great legacy. It's a great accomplishment, and hopefully, an indicator of the level of football that can be played at Bowling Green. Obviously it was different divisions then. So a lot of those guys are coming back, and hopefully our guys take pride in the fact that the only team that won a national championship at Bowling Green will be watching them play on Saturday. And it'd be nice if some had some eligibility left. At wideout, maybe some of these guys could give us 5 or 6 reps.
Coach, has your previous coaching experience at Tennessee helped you been able to better prepare for this game since Ohio just got off playing them?
A little bit, just because with every play that happens, with every play they make or don't make, you know who they're doing it against. So, which is, I guess, a little bit more frightening that they threw for the ball as well as they did. I mean, Tennessee with Eric Berry and some of the guys that are playing in the secondary, it's probably one of the best secondaries in the country. So they really did a nice job of moving the football against them. And, they had a hard time running it, but Tennessee has a good defensive front. So, but yeah, you could just, a lot of games you watch, and you're watching Marshall against Virginia Tech, there's no really point of reference. Now, once you get into MAC play, it's a little bit different because the teams you're playing against the teams they're playing against, and there's a basis for comparison. Whereas in the non-conference schedule, you're watching Troy against Arkansas State and Florida Atlantic, and you really, where do they compare? You don't know. And then Missouri, you're watching them against Oklahoma, and that's up at that level. But yeah, it helped.